All right, welcome back to Cricket for Americans. C-Fam, Nick here.
Gabe, the Night Watchman.
That's right. The Wicket Keeper and the Night Watchman are here. We are exhausted. We have put in some serious midnight oil type work to get our IPL overviews out for you, but we do it for the viewers. We appreciate the love. We also appreciate the constructive criticism to make sure that we can do a better job. But we have finished with our IPL overviews for the 2020 season, and we are truly honored by the response we got. Now, here comes the moment that we were asked for in every single video. Have you chosen your team? Have you chosen your team? We've been asked this for weeks, it seems. This is our selection party where we are going to select our official team that we're going to back. But before we get to the grand finale, we are also going to share our predictions for who's going to win the championship and all the different awards, the shiny metallic type stuff, the checks, who's going to get the lax, all that kind of stuff. Gabe, are you ready for this?
You know it.
All right. So I assumed he was gonna say more than just that, but we got a Gabe he's in business mode right now. He's in business mode.
Man. The business end right now. You know what's funny?
There he is.
You wanted it, right? So I'm gonna give it to you, right? Here's the hilarious part. Last night, as I'm reading your comments, as I'm editing my own video, all I keep saying is episode 8. What happened to episode 7? And somebody was like, "Oh, Gabe's on it. Must be editing issues." They already know me. Like, look, come on, guys. I'm a slacker. Nick's gonna be on point with it, but I got it out on target. On the day we decided to do it. As obviously today we wanted to give you this video, and tomorrow we jump right into IPL. Oh man, but it was so funny just reading those comments, and they were like, "Wait, what happened to episode 8? Did we not more than one person? What happened to episode 7? Did we miss it?"
That's just how many CSK fans there are on there. And I'm surprised because CSK fans, these are true lovers of cricket. They're watching the Mumbai video. They're probably wondering, like, okay, let's see if he gives some hate. Let's see if he gives some hate. And then they were probably mad I didn't give any hate. And they're like, oh, well, where's the CSK video at?
That's funny. That's funny.
It is time for us to put our predictor cap on. You are not going to get the Nick who voted for the Tridents because of Aquaman. That's not going to happen. I'm not getting the Tridents. I believe that is going to be a fateful decision in the future. It just didn't work out for 2020. All congrats go to TKR. They definitely they were the class of the league by far. Let's go ahead. Let's get started, Gabe. And I didn't prepare you for this, so sorry. Let's select our 4 playoff teams because as far as I understand, unless they change the format, the top 4 of the 8, they move on to the playoffs. So what 4? It doesn't have to be in the order of their ranking, but what 4 teams do you see making the playoffs?
From the research I've done, I think it's going to be CSK. I think it's going to be the Mumbai Indians. I think it's going to be the Knight Riders, right? Kolkata Knight Riders. And I think the surprise team to me, I thought they were one of the most balanced team, was the Delhi Capitals. And I'm not just saying that because I butchered that that review, right? I butchered that episode, but they're really, really balanced. And we'll talk about it later on, but they're going to be playing overseas, man. They're playing in the UAE. And the last time the tournament was in UAE, all right, those pitches are very conducive to spinners. So these teams, like, I get it, RCB has some real big whackers on there. You know what I mean? They got Virat Kohli. I mean, they're stacked, right? The Royals got Stokes. But if you don't got a lot of spinners and you don't got some really good bowling, you're going to be in trouble, in my opinion. So that's why I went with those 4 teams. How about you, Nick?
All right, so I'm already going to tick off some people. The season hasn't even started yet. I'm already going to kick some people out. Based on your overviews, based on my overviews, which is the best thing I have right now because we put some serious work and some research in there based on Boglay's videos, I am probably going to surprise a few people. I think the Royals they got a really deep squad. And I feel really good about that team. I think they're going to, and I know we're not going to do the seeding and everything. I think they're going to be one of the top 2 teams as far as the end of the season goes. I don't know if I have them win the whole thing, but I think they're going to the playoffs. So we got them, right? I think RCB's going to the playoffs. I really do. And
They
I
got
know
the same problem they got every year. Where's the bowling? They got the same problem they got every year. Where's the bowling?
I think, and you hit the nail on the head. UAE, right? It's Mumbai does not play too well. At least they haven't done it recently, and they don't have a lot of spin bowlers right now. So, anyways, RCB, Royals, right? Of course, we got Mumbai going. I mean, come on, it's not going to not happen. Now, I want to put CSK in there. Obviously, I'm not an idiot. I'm not, but they're down Reina, right? They're down. I think another bowler,
Right.
and it just seems like I don't know. I so badly want to put SRH in there. I really do.
Ooh.
So I'm going to kick CSK out, and I'm putting SRH in that fourth spot.
Ooh. Oh, man. You know what? I can't blame you. Hey, I was like, how do I not put in RCB? You know what I mean? But, dude, to me, they haven't fixed their issues. You know what I mean? And after watching your reviews and then watching stuff on Crick Buzz, I'm like, they haven't fixed their issues. It's the same issues they have every year. So I really like the Knight Riders. I think they're stacked. They're deep. You know what I mean? CSK, here's the thing. Conventional wisdom, I see what you're saying. You got an older or an aging team, right? They're the oldest team in the tournament. 8 out of the 16 players that are 35 plus are on CSK. I understand that.
But
all right?
they're there every year. I know what you're going to say.
Bro, but they're
year.
It's like the Dodgers. They're there every year. Until they're not there, they're there. You've got Dwayne Bravo with the most test wickets, period, ever. You got the guy, he's got 104 for this team alone. You got the nasty spin bowler who's going to do well out there. You got MS Dhoni. Until they wheel him out in a wheelchair, he's there, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I know what you're thinking, and the fact that you lost the second most important batsman in Reina hurts, but again, how do you root against teams that's done it?
I get it. I really like the Royals, and I really like SRH from their squad. I did the overview, so obviously bias or whatever. I really like their squads, but I'm not an expert on these players. I mean, I'm just doing research on these players, and I know it's, again, kiss of death. Every year we think Alabama and college football is not going to make it. They always get there. So, I mean, CSK is that team. I'm not just saying because of rain and because of this. I'm saying I just have a feeling. That this year they're just not going to be able to make it. I don't know why. So, anyways, that's our prediction for our top 4 teams. Let's go into our award winners for the year. I'm going to go ahead and start off with who I think is going to be the emerging.
And here's another thing that bodes in your argument. Their other bowler that's out is the most experienced bowler. He is 40, but talk about experience. Harbaran Singh, okay? He's a spin bowler. They could use him out there in the UAE. Again, it's conducive to spin bowling. So you're right. The cards are stacked against them. But it's the Yankees, bro. How you choose against the Yankees?
They're not the Yankees. Mumbai's got the most championships. Who's got the most championships in baseball?
By one. By one, and not just by one.
But there's only been so many seasons.
You mentioned in your own review, they came up 3 runs. Well, one was by 1 run against CSK.
2 of them were by 1 run.
2 of them by 1 run. That could easily go the other way.
Sling a Malinga. You got those clutch performances. And Malinga's not playing this year. But you got those clutch performances. All right. So, emerging player. I have a hard time not picking with my heart. You got to go with your instincts. It's like fantasy football. By the way, we have a fantasy IPL league going on. Gabe got it started. We have the invite links on both of our channels and the community page. Go check it out. We have already 100 people signed up. There's 400 more spots as of recording. When you're talking about picking a player for fantasy, you got to go with the stats and you got to go with your gut instincts and you just got to go for it. So there's a player out there who I saw in the movie Kai Poche, who I was shocked to find out this guy is actually a serious cricketer. He's making his debut in the IPL. I think Dijvijay Deshmukh, I think he's good in emerging player of the year. He played in, what do they call it, one class last year, and in 7 games, he got himself 9 wickets. All right. If he plays, who knows if he gets every game, every match? Probably not, because he's one of those 20 lakh guys. But if he gets a chance to get himself 10 or 12 matches, you're telling me he gets 13, 14 wickets, he's not going to be emerging player of the year? Come on.
Ooh, that's a good pick. again, you got to go with your heart as well. And as I'm doing research, right, and I wasn't just doing research on my teams, but we did research on each other's teams because we wanted to see the best team to pick or whatnot. And for this fantasy Dream 11 team that we put together, I wanted to know who to put out there. We're not trying to get embarrassed whether we're novices or not. We're both really competitive dudes. So I stumbled upon a player who, to me, has the most compelling story. And sometimes, how they say, you can't make this stuff up, right? You couldn't have written it better for the silver screen. And there's a player who plays now for the Rochester Royals, who, by the way, was once homeless, a homeless 18-year-old street vendor, and now has a deal with the Royals. He's making $327,000 a year, and that is Yash Asiv Jaiswal. Jaiswal, let me just explain to you. This is a left-handed batter, and they've got him slotted in to bat, I believe, fifth. Nick, 400 runs. He scored 400 runs during India's Under-19 World Cup 2020. I repeat, 400 runs. This kid can rake. He can absolutely rake. It's just going to be a matter of, if with as deep as the Royals are, if he can stay in the lineup full time. But he brings some balance, and I'm so excited to watch him. I love his story too, man. This kid was, again, a homeless a street vendor, right? And this kid worked through the adversity. He did what he had to do. There's a story, an expose on him on ESPN if you guys want to watch it. I'm rooting for him. I am absolutely rooting for him this year, and I hope he gets Emerging Player of the Year. But that's my pick.
Love it. All right, so let's go ahead. I'll have you go first. Who do you got getting the maximum sixes award, the most sixes in the league this year?
Ooh, most sixes award. Now, you know what? I had to stop my personal bias here, because I'm like, dude, how could it not be the guy that I saw just crush the CPL and take Nick's heart? He hit 11 sixes in one game. You know what I mean? I'm like,
how dare you?
How can I not go with Pollard, right? How can I not go with Pollard? And he is an absolute savage. However, with that being said, as good as Pollard is as a batsman, there's better. And there's guys that can rake. So for me, I'm going with Andre Russell. Andre Russell for the
savage. You're a savage, man. So
what?
So I'm not sure if have you done the research on Russell? You know what he did last year in the IPL?
I didn't get this number from last year.
Oh, okay. Not only did he win the maximum sixes award last year,
right?
This guy had 52 sixes last year, right?
Ooh.
You know how much the second place guy got?
I'm curious.
32 or something like that. He got 34. 34. Chris Gale got 34. This guy got what? 18 more?
He's a savage, bro.
More, and then the guy after that had 29. Russell went nuts last year. That's an amazing pick. I have his name written down, but I have a second name written down. And since you chose that name, fate is telling me go with the second name. And it's the boy that I don't want to say hate, but I get some constructive criticism about. This guy can't keep as well as Dhoni. This guy can't do this as well as Dhoni. Well, you know what this guy can do? He can rake. His name's Rishabh Pant. That's right. Rishabh Pant. I'm saying the name wrong. I don't know why. I'm getting nervous right now. I said his name a million times, but you guys know what I'm talking about. This guy has been in the top 5, I believe, for the top 6 of the last 2 years. He's going to go over it. He's going to get his 6s this year. Sorry, Andre.
Oh, man. I go with Andre Russell. You go with Pont. All right. I'll let you get the next pick. 6s. Ooh, this is not 6s. I'm sorry. The purple cap winner, right? Who's going to get the maximum wicket? Who's going to be the top scout taker? Ooh.
This one's tough because, again, you go from past stats, but being a guy who loves stats, the guy who won it last year is usually more than likely not going to win it the next year. The guy who's in the top 5, sometimes the guy who can be in the top 20 last year, he takes the top spot this year. So it's tough to do that. But for my research, I'm going with the guy from SRH, the Sunrisers. I'm going with a guy named Khalil Ahmed. I have a feeling about this guy. This guy has been in the top ranks of wickets 2 of the last 3 years, I believe. There's just something about this guy. The Sunrisers, like I said, I think they're going to have a special season this year, in the regular season at least. I'm going with Ahmed. Purple cap.
Ooh, you know what? I like it. I like that. But for me, purple cap, purple jersey, daddy. And I'm going with the player that rocks the purple jersey because I've seen him play. You guys see my West Indies hat. I know I'm already hear all the bias, you know, in the chat. It's all good. It's all good. But my man, Sunil Nareen has already won the top scout taker, okay? To me, it was between him and Tahir, specifically because they're both spinners and they're going to be out in the UAE.
He was a beast last year, yep.
Oh, man. And it was like, who do I take, Tahir or Sunil? Ooh, recency bias. I just saw Sunil dominate in the CPL, so I'm excited. I want to see Sunil dominate in the IPL, so give me some all day long. All day long.
All right, man. I was just trying to look while you were talking. How many did Nareen get last year? He must have played for a different team because I'm not seeing him even in the top 10, top 20, but maybe that's because he didn't play last year. Anyways, I'm getting a sidetrack. Let's go into the orange cap. Again, you don't ever want to pick the guy that did the year before unless the bad boy has won it 3 of the last 3 seasons he's played. We're talking about David Warner. This guy, he didn't win it in 2018. You want to know why? Oh, yeah, he was suspended. He was kicked out because of the sandpaper situation. Won in 2019. Won in 2017. Won in 2016, I believe. Oh, no, I'm sorry. 2016, he was runner-up to Virat Kohli. He got second place that time. My bad. He's got 2 orange caps. I mean, this guy, how can I not choose this guy? Another Sunriser right there. How can I not choose this guy when the history is telling me he's going to be in the top 2 regardless? I got to go with David Warner.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick. So here is where listening to and we're people, and you guys know, we interact in the chats, we listen, we read our comments, and I was excited about Pant because you kept talking about Pant. You showed me that video when he's raking, and I'm like, man, this is going to be MS Dhoni's next replacement, Nick says, and they're like, are you crazy? KH Rahul's way better. KL Rahul is way better. And he's a savage. So I was like, let me look this up, you know, because normally they're right. Let me look it up. And oh boy, were they right. You're right. Your man finished first last year, David Warner. You know who finished second? That's right. KL Rahul. KL Rahul. Now, it was almost by 100. Given it was almost by 100. I'm not going to say it wasn't. But to me, KL Rahul is in a position this year, in a much better position, I should say. I did Punjab, you know what I mean? And I really like the Kings 11 arsenal. They've got some great hitters there. My biggest issue with them is, again, they don't have the bowling, but it doesn't matter about having the bowling. We're just talking about individual awards, and I think he can score the most runs. So I'm going to go with KL Rahul.
Awesome. Now, let me correct myself. I made a huge mistake. I had said that Nareen wasn't on the same team last year. He was. I was looking for yellow for some reason. He was on KKR last year. So good pick there. We skipped over the Fair Play Award before we get to MVP. Let's throw in the Fair Play Award, right? We're making predictions left and right. Oh, and I'm just going for the team that I think is going to have a great season, and that's the Royals. I think the Royals are going to win Fair Play. I have no other reason besides that. I think they're going to have a clean season. I think they're going to have a special season. And they're going to get that award.
You know what? To me, this is a tough award because, again, it's basically I hate umpires. You know the deal. And this is basically who has the less controversial issues with umpires. And I mean, if there's going to be a team, I would probably say it's going to be CSK simply because they've won a whole bunch of them. And you've got a class guy like Dhoni who's going to keep those guys under control. So more than likely, CSK will win another Fair Play Award. They're very cordial team, you know, not too loud, not too rowdy. I can tell you who ain't gonna win it, and that's KKR. Canada Knight Riders have not won one. And dude, have you ever heard of an owner being banned for walking on the field after a championship because he was quote unquote being, berating security? They probably told him to get off the field. He's like, my team just won. Get out of here. But
seriously, that's jacked up. I'm the owner. I gotta walk the field if I want to.
That's hilarious, man. But anyway, yeah, KKR. Funny enough, they've never won one, and they have a lot of personality, dude. I really like KKR, man. Anyways,
I know you do. You
go
had
ahead.
great experience the last night, Riders. So we are going to go into MVP now, and I already know Gabe's. I looked at his paper. He's going to choose Campbell. We all know he's going to. All right.
How
wait,
dare
he's not
you?
playing the IPL.
How
All
dare
right.
you?
MVP. I'm going with a guy that I think is a near lock for the MVP. There's a lot of great players out there, but for MVP, you got to be able to have just the right amount of everything. And I think it's going to Hardik Pandya. I really do. If his brother gets it, then I'm claiming that I said a Pandya, so it works. But no, I think Hardik Pandya, I think he's getting MVP. I think he's going to have a super special season. Not like he hasn't already. I think it's going to Pandya.
Wow. Okay. You know what? MVP. You heard it here first. MS Dhoni. MS Dhoni will take this team to the playoffs. He's short one of not just the most integral batsman outside of himself, right? In Reina. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay, he's short. His top, well, not top, but one of his top spin bowlers. It doesn't matter. And MS Dhoni knows how to win. That's why they call him a finisher. MS Dhoni, MVP at age 39. Right? He's actually younger than me. He's a year actually younger than me. Both our birthdays are in July, funny enough. You know what I mean? So I did the research on him. I'm so hyped to see him play. The man, the myth, the legend. He's going to come out and say, you know what? Myth ain't nothing but a number. And those of y'all that think aging is an issue, go ahead and look up a guy named Nelson Cruz, who's 41 this year and raking. Get it out of here, man. Hitting bombs every other game. He's going to come and put in work. Dhoni.
That's a great choice. And, I was going to make a few jokes here and there, but I can't be disrespectful to the legend MS Dhoni. So I like that. All right. So let's go ahead and let's choose who's going to be in the final and who's going to win the IPL 2020. You want to go first?
You know what? I will go first.
Okay, we'll save the best for last.
Finals, okay? My prediction for the finals. This has been a crazy COVID year, all right? Experience matters. You got a lot of players who have not had any play. We see how rusty some of those players have been when they played in international cricket, right? The test teams and the ODI teams. So to me, the teams with most experience are going to win and are going to be standing at the end. And to me, it's going to be Mumbai Indians and CSK. And CSK will prevail. They're going to tie it up at 4 apiece. It's symmetrical. You know what I mean? It's a poetry. I love it. And it happens all the time like this in sports where, you're like, is this a movie? Am I watching a movie or is this real life? Is this really happening? And that's going to be one of the seasons where you're going to have two of the most storied franchises battle it out, make it to the end. And this time it's going to be CSK that wins by a run and not Mumbai Indians. Nick,
you're setting me up for another GOAT season right now. And I'm not talking about the greatest of all time because I have CSK out of the playoffs. So you have them winning and I'm wrong.
What?
I told you CSK is out of the playoffs. I told you. They're not in the top 4. So I have heartbreak coming again, or maybe not. I got RCB going to the finals. I really do. I feel good about their squad, and I would love to put the Royals in there because I keep talking about a special season they're going to have, but no, it's going to be RCB. It's going to be Mumbai. I almost pointed my hat, but this is international India. Mumbai, RCB, and we know that Mumbai can't win it in the even years. So I think RCB is lifting their first title banner. There's a lot of fans losing their mind for different reasons right now. It might be a crazy, insane pick, but I'm telling you, our first season going into this, we see nothing but history. We see nothing but history in front of us. To see that kind of history would be fantastic. I got RCB winning the title. Oh my gosh. Goosebumps.
That would be nice. That would be nice. You know what? Either pick would be nice. I will say,
you went with logic. I went with craziness.
Sometimes that works out too. As I was looking at these teams, man, and I'm thinking to myself, I even listened to Bubley's overview of all the teams, and I'm thinking to myself, like, logically, try to think about this logically. What do you think is more apt to happen? And what did we see the other day in the Australian test team, or the test series, right? We saw a guy that was put in a big spotlight in Alex Carey and the keeper, right, against England, and he folded. Bro, experience, you cannot speak for experience. And the fact that, to me, both Mumbai and CSK have been there. I don't think that this long layoff is going to hurt them. If anything, it helped them. It let some of these guys, you know what I mean? Their body, these older guys, their bodies healed. They didn't get beat up as much. And I honestly think it's going to do them better. You know what I'm saying? You got a guy like Tahir, he's a pro's pro when it comes to it. And, oh, man, I'm just excited. I'm super excited for this season. And my biggest question to you, though, is, do you think we're going to see the same thing that happened in the CPL happen in the IPL? Because, they said, the pitches and the fields.
It's only 3 pitches they're going to be playing on. That's a lot better than 2. There's only 3 pitches total. And there's 8 teams, not 6. I definitely think so. It depends on whose batting can last the longest, whose pitching can last the longest. We'll definitely see. I personally, it drives me crazy when I go into any season, whether it's football or baseball or whatever, and all the experts choose the same teams that were in it last year. And it's nothing against you. I know you're going with your mind and everything, but we have CSK and Mumbai many, many times. I think these teams are hungry. I think it's time for a change. And, if it's not RCB, I think it might be a different team that's not won before. We'll see going into it. All right. Now it's time for the moment. What teams are we choosing to support? Now, full disclosure, okay? We've got to be strategic about this, right? We've got to be surgical about this. We've got to pick the teams that we want to see win. We want to, rub it in the other person's nose. But you also have like that guilty pleasure. You also have like that secret love. Well, maybe not always. I don't have a secret love in real life, but with whatever else you're doing. So I'm going to pick 2 teams. I think Gabe's going to do the same. Let's start with our guilty pleasure. Let's start with our closet pick, with our secret love. The team that's not going to be our official team, but the team we're going to be rooting for, like in the sidelines. For me, if you haven't guessed already, it's going to be RCB. I'm going to be rooting for RCB as like that guilty pleasure, not because they're an embarrassment or whatever, but they're not going to be my main team I'm going to be rooting for. But on the side, I'm going to be rooting for RCB. And when RCB plays the team that I'm going to be rooting for, I'm going to be rooting for my team. But, I want to see what RCB can do. So that's my secret team right there, RCB.
Well, and I think that we both have the same situation where we like these secondary teams a lot. We've had these discussions, but then we see the holes. And like, you know what I mean? So for me, my closet or my mistress is going to be the Knight Riders, okay? KKR, Kolkata Knight Riders. And bro, I mean, this team, dude, Karthik, Andre Russell, they got, I'm sorry, my boy Shubman Gill. I already talked about his numbers, and Sunil Nareen. Oops, they also broke the bank for Pat Cummings. Oh, I like them so much. However, you know what? After that, those that I named, you know what I mean? Like Lockie Ferguson, I don't know. Everybody keeps telling me, Gabe, look out for Kuldeep Yadav. I've never seen him play, but man, I'm so excited. And I just love their attitude. They have their owner's attitude, honestly, okay? Obviously, if you're watching this channel, you already know they're owned by SRK, and man, you know what I mean? Like, this dude's bigger than life. He's cool. These guys walk around like with a chip on their shoulder, with an attitude. They're a fun team to root for. And I'm gonna be watching as many KKR games as I can.
I mean, I'm excited about all these teams, to tell you the truth. Like, I really am excited to see what these teams can do. All right. Here it comes. Here comes the decision. If you're watching this video, go ahead and predict out loud who you think I'm going to choose, who you think Gabe's going to choose. Let me start off with a little story, okay, boys and girls? There was once a young boy named Nick. And he was so excited to open his present one morning. He had been looking forward to this present. He knew what was inside. He was so excited. Inside that present was a W for a win. He knew it was there. And then came this big, giant, muscular man named Kieran Pollard, and he just took away that gift and he stomped on it and he crushed on it and he hit it for a sixth. You know what? If it happens once, shame on me. There's not going to be a second time. I'm taking Mumbai. I'm taking Pollard on my team. I'm not going to let this man destroy my present or my Christmas ever again. I'm taking Pollard. I'm taking the Pandya brothers. I'm taking Reliance Industries, and we're going, and I'm rooting for them. I know I chose RCB to win the title, but that means Mumbai is still going to be there. My prediction, I'm rolling with Mumbai this year. That's right.
Dude, Nick has like Pollard nightmares, man. I mean, it was an impressive performance.
Not going to happen a second time.
Woo! Guys, if you don't know what we're talking about, go back in the history of our channel. We got it. I forget. It was awesome, man. And Nick's like, what just happened? It was the TKR versus the Tridents, right? The Knight Riders versus the Tridents in the CPL. And Nick's team had a 72 or 71 run lead going into the death innings. And Pollard went bananas. I think he hit like 11 sixes, man. He was passing up singles and saying, no, I want to go yard. Let me go get that six.
Not going to happen again.
His head. So he doesn't want to root against Pollard.
You can't beat him, join him.
I have to be true to myself. And as far as I'm a Yankees fan this year, and I'll tell you, I am deathly concerned because the Yankees in the last 3 games right now have broken the record. I don't know if you know that, Nick. 6 home runs in 3 games, back to back to back. Never been done
for the Yankees. They always hit home runs.
Doesn't matter.
Lily Field.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You know why? Because right now, our number 2, Luis Severino, is out. Our number 3, James Paxton, is out. And our pitchers outside of Garrett Cole are basura. All right, that means garbage for those of you that don't speak Spanish. You know what I mean? They're 4 and 5 guys, journeymen. You can't survive in the playoffs with that. You need pitching. I don't care how many home runs you hit. If you can't stop the other team, they're gonna beat you. So just like I don't believe my Yankees are gonna win this year because they lack pitching, I don't believe other teams are gonna win because they lack bowling. And I love how CSK has built their team. You're going to say, Gabe, but they're missing their second best hitter in Reina. They are, but it doesn't matter. They've got 2 things going in their favor. They've got, of course, the man, the myth, the legend, MS Dhoni, and they've got a relentless bowling attack, okay? Look at that bowling attack and tell me playing in the UAE, which everybody has said is a pitch friendly to spinners. You got the here. All right, we already know about the here. We got Dwayne Bravo. This guy owns the most wickets, period, in T20. They're built. I mean, they are built to bowl. They got Mitchell Satner, Luengengidi. Everybody keeps telling me you like Gabe. If you like Jofra Archer, wait till you see Luengengidi bowl. He's nasty. I'm going with bowling. Just like in baseball, I go with pitching. I think that it beats. At the end of the day, you need a consistent bowling attack in order to win in these playoffs and win these championships. So I'm going to go with CSK all the way. I'm part of the Yellow Army. All right. Yellow Army. Going to be ordering my hat, expressing it. Hopefully it's here by the first game. Probably not. But hopefully it's here by the first game. And you know what? We'll be rocking with our teams. Let us know in the comment what you guys think. Also, before I forget, IPL 2020 Dream 11 season. Guys, put your teams together. It's a free league. Nick and I and Jody all have teams in there. Go ahead. Listen, wait till you see my team, cousin. If you guys know me, you know I got some spinners in there. Y'all not going to come, like we're novices, but we also play fantasy. We know what the deal is. So go ahead and join. Top 3 at the end of the season, whether Nick and I and Jody are up there. Wow, that's even thinking a lot, right? That we can make it to the top 3. I want to see how high I can make it. I'll probably be like, bottom of the barrel or something like that. But top 3, guys, we'll get some Vegas swag bag. We're going to get you guys some hats, shirts, other little trinkets in there, man. Just again, appreciate you guys hanging out with us, showing us the love. Just go ahead, join the league. You still have it's a day plus, so like 20 plus hours before the first game. And I think you might be able to join after the first game, but then you'll be at a disadvantage. But go ahead and do that ASAP. Nick, any last words?
I'm already getting nervous, man. You had a pretty compelling argument with CSK. My argument for Mumbai was not nearly as compelling. I do like the bowlers for CSK. I love the batsman more for Mumbai. Mumbai's got the experience. They can't win in the even years, but still. But you made a great argument there. I'm excited to check it out. I'm excited to see what happens. Can't wait for the first game. We'll be streaming it live on CFA for us tomorrow morning in a little over 12 hours. So can't wait for you guys to check it out with us. Thanks for checking us out here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time,
this is the way.